We want to continue that conversation. Bring in Peter Doran, Senior Adjunct Fellow for the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Peter, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. It's just after midnight in Iran. 3 U.S. troops now killed in action, 1 still missing. And the military also found, as Hannah mentioned, unidentified remains. What worries you most about where this war could potentially go next?
Well, Xavier, it's always sad when we hear that American heroes have died in the line of duty. But the most important point about this development is that President Trump kept his word. Let's recall, he declared there would be hell to pay if the IRGC killed American servicemen or women. They crossed that line. They've been lying to President Trump throughout this so-called negotiation process. And now the president is simply pivoting back to the winning strategy that CENTCOM was executing against the Iranian regime this past spring.
So some experts believe the security of the Strait of Hormuz is back to a worst-case scenario for oil tankers, becoming somewhat of an hour-by-hour gamble of what could happen. The president even saying how the U.S. is now the guardian of the Strait. Those were his words, right? What's the end goal here? Because we obviously can't keep it status quo as it is now.
Well, the Iranian regime played its card too early and too quickly. Let's recall, yes, in the past, prior to this war, about 20% of the world's oil passed through the Straits. But all of the Gulf oil producers are finding workarounds. They're using existing pipelines or building them very quickly so that in the future, even now, they can move oil out of their region, out of their oil fields without having to go through the Gulf. That's over the long term. In the near term, what we're seeing is what I would call shaping operations. CENTCOM is pushing back the envelope that the IRGC can put a toe in near the coast, and this will make it easier for peaceful commercial shipping to pass through the lanes that we control, not those that the IRGC extracts a toll from.
Yeah, in theory, should make it easier. What should the U.S. Prioritize here right now be, is it reopening the Strait, weakening Iran, which we have heard we continue to do, especially with now the 8th day. We'll see if strikes continue, making it the 9th. Or is it getting back to diplomacy and, getting back to the negotiating table?
Well, Xavier, let's take that diplomacy issue front and center first. I think the MOU that we signed with this regime was a masterclass in why America must not negotiate with terrorists. Let's recall, the IRGC is not a state actor who's operating in good faith. This is a terrorist regime. They played the administration, and worse, they lied to President Trump. They deceived him through the negotiation process, and now they're paying the price. What we're doing now will work. It is a winning strategy. We are strangling their economic lifelines. We are denying them the ability to sell oil on the international market. We are hitting their leadership hard, and we are systematically degrading, as we can see here on the screen, their ability to see ships out on the water, to attack those ships, and over the long term, even over the near term, I expect that we will see a return to shipping through the southern lane that we control and not the extortion lane that the Iranian regime controls.
Now, I want to follow up with a quick question. With that MOU, were you pretty skeptical from the beginning that this wasn't going to work? It was only a matter of time before this ended up happening and we're back to where we were?
Yes, in fact, I was one of the leading voices that was supportive of diplomacy if diplomacy could work. But once we saw the actual text, very clearly this was a poorly worded document. Let's remember also, the Iranian regime is a superpower when it comes to playing diplomatic and negotiating games. They tried to run circles around President Trump. He got frustrated in the beginning, and then he finally learned that this is not a regime that he can do business with. They had no intention of keeping to the spirit or letter of this agreement from the get-go.
All right, ending with this, got about 30, 40 seconds or so. Do you think this is the making of a forever war? And there are a lot of people that believe that, but there are also that believe the opposite. So what do you say?
Well, let's remember that President Trump declared that his administration would be remembered not by the wars he started, but the ones he ended. We have been in a 47-year war with this regime. It has been a forever war. President Trump wants to put an end to that. The goal here is not regime change, but to force capitulation, and that means denying this regime the ability it needs to threaten its neighbors and peaceful shipping. That's going to happen if President Trump sticks to the current game plan. It's working, and he should stay the course.
All right, Peter, thank you so much. We appreciate your time here on a Sunday when you could be watching the World Cup match right now. So I thank you. I appreciate it.